right. Hello, everyone. I'm back again, and I have a guest joining me today. I have joining us this evening. He is going to be talking about the pros and cons of business. He has a lot of things going on, so we're going to get into some of the things that he has going on. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's been a long day, but I'm here.
Glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
All right. So, I know that you're the host of Banked Out Radio.
hmm
Let's talk a little bit about that. What's some of the things you got going on over there?
Oh, a lot. So Baked Out Radio Show is a multi-tier podcast, or a multi-tier platform, digital radio station, podcast, app, website. Now it's actually doing production as well. Let's see, 6 years old. It'll be 7 years old in February. Started initially because I gave independent artists a opportunity to get heard with their music, because I've dealt a lot with independent artists, still do to some degree. But it isn't like blossomed from that idea and started off as a audio podcast first, then graduated to video. To now it's just basically putting out content. Not only am I the host, but I've also signed two other hosts. They have their own shows that they brought to like the platform. So we have In the Mix with Mail, which airs every Sunday, not Sunday, every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All the way to about November-ish. I think the first season we have 17 episodes. And then I also produced a show called Behind the Bar that's on Roku, up under the Banked Out Radio Show brand family. That's like 10 episodes for season one. And we're in season two right now, filming that and producing that right now. And then I have other show ideas that I do besides like interviewing folks myself. I think this year I set a goal for, what was it? I wanted to interview 100 people this year. I think I'm close to that. I think I'm
Okay.
in the 60s or 70s. It's somewhere around there. And that's from all over, not only here in the Macon, Middle Georgia area that I live in, but I've interviewed a few people in Atlanta, done Zoom interviews with people in California, Boston, all over Southeast United States. I
Have you
interviewed.
done any like out of the country? Like I did an interview with a couple people, UK,
Mhm.
England.
I did do an interview with a lady in the Bahamas. I did that recently, Dr. Felicia. She's a physiologist down there, or no, physiotherapist, which basically is a physical therapist down there. That's the word for it. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, and I've had some of my hosts. So I also have another host, Sunshine. She's redoing her show. She had a podcast show, and now she actually has a visual show. It's sort of similar to what I do. She interviews a lot of different guests. We go to different places. I record it. She interviews them, and I'm working on that now. And that's supposed to be coming on Roku as well.
Okay.
Initially had a release date of September, but we have not gotten all the episodes that we're trying to shoot for yet. So it'll probably end up being around October, maybe November-ish when it comes out. So
So
yeah,
where on Roku can I find your shows?
so the shows that are on Roku, I have a partnership collaboration with AMP Spire Media Network, so AMP Spire Media Network. All you got to do is type in AMP, and it pulls up automatically because there's not anything else titled on Roku that's a channel that has that particular spelling. And
Okay.
you'll see all of her content, Plump Queen, but then you'll see Banked Out Originals, and you'll see
Okay.
the Behind the Bar, and that's the series that I have on there right now. And like I said, the Sunshine, Chopping It Up with Sunshine will be on Roku, so that'll be later on. But I'll be putting out information about when that debuts, and then like I said, I got a couple other things I'm working on as well. I got a series called "The Ugly Side of Entrepreneurship." Um,
Okay.
one, because I decided to do the series because I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur full time since 2013. Entrepreneur since 2015. 2005, 2006, something. I think it was 2005, 2005. Um, and what I have discovered over the course of time, of course, entrepreneurship back then wasn't looked upon glamorous like it is now. So what I've seen is that it's been celebrated so much, the results of hard work and entrepreneurship, that people are actually forgetting to talk about what actually goes into building a business. And that's why I like for the conversation, the topic today, shows like Shark Tank and The Profit and all these others, they glamorize entrepreneurship. They don't really talk about the struggle. Like they might talk
Yeah.
about it, but it's not really highlighted. They're not talking about the days where you have zero sales, or you might go 2 weeks without zero sales, or a month, whatever the case may be. They don't talk about how it really, like everybody wants to be that millionaire, but nobody wants to start off making that $100, then make that $1,000, then make that 10,000, then make that 100,000. I'm like, there's a lot
Right.
of steps involved getting to those tiers. So yeah, that's a series I'm working on. I have a music video series I'm working on. What else I got? I have a baking show that I'm supposed to be working on, but I probably won't be able to get to that till next year, 2023. And just still recording all my interviews and putting them out. So it's a lot. That's just
So
like one brand.
I heard you mention a couple of shows, Behind the Bar, and what was it, Hemp?
Okay, so Behind the Bar, yeah, that's a show what I have with Brianna. That's the one that's on Roku TV. Um, but then I have a hemp-based company. Me and my wife started a company called the Cooke Shop. It's based off
Okay.
of our last names. Um, it is natural products, hemp-based. So everything that we make has hemp in it, but it's all natural. So I have a variety of products that we sell, and we started that like 3 years ago, 2018. Yeah, 2018, right before the farm bill was introduced to where hemp became legal because it was separated from marijuana. Um, so yeah, so I still have that business, and it's actually I'm in the spot where the store technically is located. I have a double office, so it's a separate space by a door or whatever. But yeah, manufacture homemade hemp products from teas, salves, lip balms, coffee, uh, hemp reds, which are like they look like cigarettes, but they're not tobacco. Nothing
Mhm.
harmful in them. What else I got over there? I also got some dog supplements as well from a company in Florida that I retail now. I sell those. So yeah, just a lot of different homemade products, great for different illnesses, anxiety, pain, depression, all sorts of stuff. Giving people an alternative to
Okay.
just prescription based medications.
So hemp, is good for, you say, I heard you say anxiety.
Yeah, so basically, when people use marijuana or weed, what I've discovered is probably about 40% of the people, sometimes 50, are wanting to relieve some type of medical symptom, whether it be like anxiety, depression, or pain, inflammation, whatever the case may be, lowering the blood pressure, all sorts of stuff. So they turn to weed, and they don't necessarily want the high. They just want the benefits of what marijuana will give you. Well, hemp does that without the high.
Okay.
So yeah, so everything that marijuana can do, hemp can do as well without the high.
Great. Okay. Now, Behind the Bar,
Hmm.
that's a show. That's an actual show.
Yeah, that's the actual show that's on Roku. I have 8 out of 10 episodes on it right now. And Behind the Bar is with the host Bree. I shot it and presented it to her because she's a bartender here in Georgia. And when the opportunity came to put stuff on Roku, when I was talking with Plump Queen, who's the partner and collaborator, oh, I want to high. I'm sitting there reading the comments. Um, what was it? I wanted to put something on there that was unique and different and what I have not seen out here in like the creative space. And I have not seen a show that focuses on where a bartender shows you how to make drinks that you can make at your house with just simple ingredients. And that's what we did the show about. So each episode is a different drink, and she has a wonderful personality. I knew this with working with her with my other business. So I was like, yeah, I'm like, you'd be great for TV. I was like, we need to do a show, whatever. So, I came up with the title and all that. And she was like, oh, I love that, whatever. And I was like, yeah, and this is what I envisioned the show being. And then she brought her ideas to the table. So then we turned around, we shot it. And I shot it in front of a green screen. So the first season is in front of a green screen. But the background, the bar background is there. Did the
Okay.
intro and all that stuff and like shot multiple angles, got her comfortable with being filmed on camera. Because, a lot of people, when they get on camera, they're not comfortable because it's focused just on them.
Yeah.
Um, so she had to get used to that, but her personality comes across like it really does. And when we did the release of the show, I had a small gathering for her family and friends, and they loved it. Everybody was laughing at the episodes. They got to premiered the episodes prior to it going on Roku, and they got to see them before everybody else, at least two or three of them. So yeah, so it's a fantastic show. I love the show. So I told her for season two we were going to shoot 15 episodes, and now season two we're actually inside of bars where I go out and I go to different bar locations, and then they allow me to use their establishment for a course. In return, I'm promoting the bar inside the episodes and stuff. So that's where we're at with season two. We're actually still in the production stage of shooting season two. We've got a few of the episodes done right now, but I plan on wrapping that up by probably about the end of September, and
Okay.
maybe debuting it in 2023, or if I have time to edit and put it all out and roll it out. But it'd be a stretch to put it out by right December or so. So it'll probably debut in 2023.
Okay. And so I can watch the show and actually learn how to make drinks because
Yes,
that's my
she
thing.
teaches you.
Because
She teaches you how to make drinks, and the drinks are different than what people out there. One of the drinks I remember is a milk-based drink. Now I can't remember the name of it, but she tells you why. Because she was in a bar one day, and someone made a drink for her, and she was like, "I don't know about that milk and alcohol or whatever." But when you taste the drink, it's fantastic. So I think it involves some chocolate as well and some things like that. I can't remember, but all the drinks you can make. And
yeah, I like to make the cute little drinks because
Mhm.
like when I do things with the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Like I always like to kind of spoil them, sort of say. So I always like to have cute things, cute drinks, and
Mhm.
cute
And
little
she's
food and
right
stuff
up that
like
valley with that. She has a lot of different, because that's actually with some of the bloopers and stuff that I have. Because I'm gonna have to do like a blooper reel or something like that behind the scenes with some of the episodes, because I have so much footage that with some of the drinks or whatever, she's talking about the cuteness of them or making sure that everything. She did this one drink with a cotton candy, and she had to make sure that it entered the drink and melted a certain way. And then when she put the other cotton candy on top of the rim of it, it had to look a certain way. So it was hilarious, or whatever, because she was just sitting there going back and forth with me or whatever, and I was just enjoying it. It's called Behind the Bar, and it's on Roku TV under Amp Spire Media Network. That's AMP Spire Media Network. You go on to Roku, search that channel, AMP, and you'll see it under the Banked Out Originals, but Behind the Bar. Yeah, so it was hilarious. And I'm going to have to like put some of that footage out and do like a whole season one recap of all the behind the scene bloopers and stuff like that, because it's hilarious.
that. Okay, all right. And then you also have a record label,
Mhm.
indie record label.
Yes, I do. That was my second business I started. So my first business that I started fresh out before I even graduated college was Bank That Entertainment, and that was a music promotions, because I got my degree in business with a concentration in marketing. So I put music and marketing together. And like I said, I've always been an advocate for independent artists, showing them how to get paid and all that stuff because I've done it. So when I was ahead of the curve, so people, the artists, didn't understand like they do nowadays. So that business fizzled out. So as that business was fizzling out, I then, because I got so much knowledge, so many resources from different industry folks and just networking, I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do a label and put out music so I can show when I approach artists, this is why you need to come and rock over here. And that's what I did. Banked Out Music Group. It was my first LLC that I formed, and I've had it since. And I've had a couple of artists signed and stuff like that. I do have an artist signed right now, but she's still working on getting some personal issues put aside to where she can fulfill her professional side of the agreement with the contract. I've had an artist based out of Atlanta. He was doing some stuff. I managed a country artist and a few other artists as well. So I've been the full spectrum. I've seen management side. I've done where we put out music side, everything. I pretty much understand the entire industry. So I still have that. And I use, actually, that's what catapulted my Banked Out radio show, because of all the relationships that I had on the music side and how all the artists, when I was putting music out there and pushing my artwork, I was getting frustrated because I would go on people's platforms, whether it was paid or not paid, and have like 5 minutes to explain why people should go listen to the music. And I was like, that's not even going to resonate with anybody because they're not going
Right.
to be able to digest that. It's too quick. And then on top of that, the platforms had like multiple guests, which I really despised. I get it. It's great for the platform as a business model, but it sucks for the actual guests because no one gets to, the audience doesn't really get to understand who you're bringing on, why they should, look up them and invest in them and things of that nature and have that interaction, that exchange. So
Yeah.
that's what really pushed the Banked Out radio show. And I was concentrated in just interviewing artists because I had so many relationships. Well, I was doing it at the rate of like 2, 3 episodes a week. I ran out of contacts real quick within like 2 months or so. So then I expanded Banked Out Radio Show to include business owners, other podcasts, content creators, politicians, authors, nonprofit executives, and basically started centering it around our community, especially anybody in our community doing positive things. Now, of course, I need you, what I'm saying, other people outside of our community, but primary focus is to give us a platform so we can tell our own narrative and allow people in-depth interviews, and that's what I call them. These 30-minute to hour and a half, however long the conversation goes, I call them in-depth interviews because it really allows people to who's viewing it to understand that guest, their purpose, see if they resonate with them, and then they turn around and support.
Yeah, see, I when I do interviews, I take them personal. That's why I created the survey that I sent you. It's
Mm-hmm.
so that I can kind of get to know you a little bit and kind of
Mm-hmm.
see, fill you out and get to know, understand some things that you might want to talk about and discuss. And I might have a co-host, but as far as like in doing like combining interviews, I just think those are personal.
Yeah, they are, and that's why because when I first started, I was like, okay, let me get a couple guests going and whatever. But then I was like, it took away from what I was trying to do, and it took away from the objective. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do one person. Now the flips of the coin, the I guess the other side to that coin is that if your guest cancel on you, like you've done all this work to prepare for this particular interview, and then see, I already know what you experienced. Everything that you experienced, I've already experienced. Um, see, I can
Yeah,
relate.
you hit that one right on the nose. Like,
I know how that is. Actually, I have a shit list. What I'm saying, not to just to be frank or whatever, of people that have basically messed up their opportunities. So as the platform continues to grow, I'm sorry, you're not coming back because you didn't respect it the first time around. So why
look,
would you respect it the second time?
I'm glad that you said it. It's one of those situations where I thought it and you said it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I just never said it out loud, but that's how I feel because this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'm showing love.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm bringing you on here to promote whatever you have going on, and I'm not charging.
Mm-hmm.
When we agreed to this calendar date and I create that flyer, you think I just put it on Facebook and let it sit on Facebook? No, I am promoting it on every platform that I am on. And
Mm-hmm.
I am on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm
Mm-hmm.
on Snapchat, I'm on Fanbase, I have more than one Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
So You know what I'm saying? I'm sharing it on the reels. I'm sharing it on the story. I am trying to help you promote you, to help you, and then for you to either just no show or
Mm-hmm.
cancel at the last minute. It's like,
Yeah.
are you effing serious?
Yeah,
You know?
no, for real. And, like, people need to respect. So, one of the things, okay, so me and my wife also have a counseling business, and it's like 12 years old. One of the things that she always says to me is you have to treat people, you have to teach people how to treat you. And that's
Yeah,
what you need to do. So when people cancel on you, it's not personal, it's business.
it
So
is.
hello, Belinda Lynn. I'm loving y'all. I love the interaction with comments and stuff. I love the fact that I can see them too. Yes, a shit list and every day. Because like in my city where I'm located, I influence a lot. Um, I've spent thousands of dollars on running Facebook ads, not well TikTok too, not thousands though, but a couple hundreds or so. And TikTok be fighting, and that's a different story. Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, all that stuff. Even Twitter at the time or whatever. And I don't even do Twitter anymore like that. So I spent a lot on the brand and all that stuff, and it was interesting because now I have an assistant, and she gets paid. I've hired her since March, and today we was having a conversation around lunchtime, and she was like, "I just see the brand. People are really recognizing it." She was like, "I done went to 4 different locations, and people have recognized the brand, following me around because I got the T-shirt on, and talking about." She went up to a school, and one of the administrators was like, "Oh my goodness, how do I get in contact with y'all, or what do I do to get on the show?" It's like, you just got to hit me up or whatever. I'm like, she has her own dedicated telephone number to where she answers when people want to inquire about stuff. She has her laptop and all that stuff, so she has everything needed to succeed at her job. But I tell people, like, I really do push this, and this is not play for me. This is for real. I also got a marketing company too, so you might want to think about that too.
Okay.
Um, because you can use your platform as a filter for like real clients and stuff. And that's how actually I get some of my clients, because they'll come on, do interviews, and get like thousands, which I want to give you your flowers, because one, I was going through your platform and consistently saw thousands upon thousands of views, and that was just on Facebook. So I don't even know what the true number is. But to be able to build a platform to where you're constantly getting those numbers, that means you're doing a fantastic job. So hats off to you to be
Thank
able to
you.
accomplish that, because I've been podcasting for 6 years now, and there's a lot of quitters out there. They don't even make it past like 5, 6, 7 episodes or whatever, because they're
Yeah.
thinking about it in the wrong term. They're thinking about it in short term instead of long term and building a brand. And that's what I've been able to do. I've been able to build a brand. Uh, like I have a fundraising event that I have to do MC in October from an organization that I don't even interact with a lot, just due to the fact they know who I am and what I do. I've been to other events where I'll have on like the cook shop stuff, t-shirts, everything. They walk up, "Oh, banked out. I've seen your stuff. I've seen your stuff. I love what you do." And that's what it's about. It's all about brand recognition. And I don't even care if people recognize me, but they recognize the logo. And that's what it's about, because I got other people coming on now. And as you build your brand and your business, other people get to benefit from that. And that's the whole point. And you get to, like, I imagine that it's just you, right? You don't have
Yeah.
anybody else tied to your brand.
No, it's just, well, I have co-hosts, but they're
But,
not tied to the
you know,
brand.
they ain't got a contract. They not tied to your brand. My people got contracts. So when you get to the point, if you want to do this and expand your brand, and you start bringing other people in, then you set parameters or whatever, but you have negotiation power because you have solidified your brand in the marketplace.
Okay.
That has value because of all the hard work you put into it, whether it be time, money, resources, whatever the case may be. You're building something here that people recognize, and people should, respect it.
Okay. I have a couple of questions, and then there's a
Hmm.
question and a statement. So he wants to know, What's more important, a great product or great marketing?
The best is both. Um, but sometimes we can't get that in the marketplace. I would have to lean towards marketing just due to the fact that you can always improve the product, right? A great product isn't a great product until you put it through a lot of research and development. And you can't perfect your product in a short time span. It has to go through a test with the market. You can do like preliminary research, what a lot of companies do, but I'm like, you will kill your capital real quick if that's all you're doing and not testing that in the marketplace. Um, and great marketing will bring people towards your product, even if it's subpar or even if it's average. You take that information and you improve your product. So over time, it'll be improved. I had to do that with the cook shop. There were some products that, you know what I'm saying, we were rolling out because we were just getting started. People were supporting them, whatever, but then they're giving us feedback. But like them interacting, marketing, and marketing is a broad term. Um, what the real definition of marketing is basically getting people to exchange something of value for your product or your service. And the product is defined as a good or a service. That's what marketing is. But it breaks down to research. It breaks down to market communication, the encoding, decoding process of advertising, promotions, and advertising, which are not the same thing, but they do bleed over. It's post research. It's a lot of stuff. I'm like, there's 4 P's of marketing. Anybody who studies marketing is price, promotion, product, and place. And place is distribution. Logistics is marketing. People don't think about that. How stuff gets from the manufacturing side or the raw product all the way to the inside, which is the consumer, where they can
Mhm.
get the product. That is still considered marketing. So yeah, great marketing will get your product out there. After the great marketing, then the product becomes better over time.
Yeah.
And that's when you really start killing. So if you got great marketing and great product, you're going to kill whatever industry you're in. You will be number one every single time, and it's going to be hard for any other competitor to take dollars away from you because you've already established yourself and you solidified your brand. As long as you keep that up, you're fine. Now, what some companies do, they fall off because, again, other executives, and once they get so big or whatever, it's all about saving money. So then when you start scheming or skimming, not scheming, skimming to decrease your expenses, but to increase your profit margin, the consumer realizes it. So then they start the value in their brain starts to lower. So yeah, I'm like, you got to pick and choose like where you want to stay at and capture that audience. So like Walmart, for instance, they're a fantastic retailer and they're number one, but they know what they're focusing on: quantity over quality, and they're fine with that. Publix is a higher end grocery store. They know what they're focusing on: people who have higher disposable income. So they're always going to try to do things in a more premium way as opposed to the shortcut way. You wouldn't
Yeah.
expect to get, brands at public that are, considered cheaper. You expect to pay more.
And then I wanted to
Mhm.
speak on this statement. Some guests act like they doing the podcast a favor when it's really the other way around.
Yeah,
And
they
I
do.
can feel him where he's coming from. And this is what made me come up with a lot of the things that I do.
Hmm.
Because it's like, okay, like I said earlier, you're getting free promotion. You know what I'm saying?
You
I'm
are.
promoting you.
Hmm.
I can't get a subscribe. I can't get a follow. Is that a whole lot to ask for you to share the show? You know what I mean? So other people can tune in.
Hmm.
But you think that you're really putting me on, but we're scratching each other's back.
Yeah, we
You know
are.
what I
But
mean?
in
Like,
the end, though, you as the platform are better because I tell people this all the time, and I'm straight up with folks. You might look at like on Facebook, anybody can go look it up. The Bank That Radio Show has almost 12,000 followers on Facebook. It was a long time building that up. That's just on Facebook. The website, I put out my numbers. Like I'm transparent with stuff. I had in July, my website alone had 5,000 something unique hits, and then hits alone or unique visits. People that visit the page, I think it was around, I want to say between 8 or 9,000, whatever. So some
Mm-hmm.
of those were new people, and then some of those were returning folks. Last year, just in hits, I had 757,000 hits. And that's not even like, I'm like, that's huge, but it's not huge compared to like, a website that got millions upon millions of dollars that get
Right.
millions upon people or whatever. It's not like a Nike or nothing like that. But my point is, as a platform, you validate any guest that you bring on in the consumer's eyes, because whatever they're doing and the support they're not getting from their family or friends or whatever is because they don't see the value in it, because no third party has invested in them, meaning that they're not lending their brand or credibility to what they're doing. You, as a third party, you give them instant credibility the moment you bring them on the show, being the platform. So as long as you let them know, ain't nobody calling you. And I'll tell people about this too, regardless of what city you live in, because I have this me and the news fight down here all the time about stories and stuff. The local news will not pick up a story unless it has already generated a certain level of interest with the public. They don't. I don't give a shit what it is. It has to have already generated some type of local interest, and it's proven in that area, in that marketplace already, before they pick up a story. I had a young lady who did nobody know about. Well, some people. I'm not gonna just throw her away like that. But her nonprofit, people didn't really know about it besides her immediate whomever. Came on to my show, got like almost 2,000 something views, organic. Then got a news coverage story in the
Okay.
local area. I've had it happen more than one time. Um, I built my platform up to where certain number of eyeballs are going to see it, and it's going to spread. And people are going to talk about it, and then I also run ads and stuff too. I promote my own stuff, just to even get it out there more, because Facebook has changed their algorithms now. Um, but yeah, third party platforms, regardless of who it is, and if people heard about them or not, that's not the issue. Because when you look at marketing, we are exposed to over 70,000 messages a day anyway. So ain't nobody gonna remember every single thing.
Yeah.
It's not about people not knowing that it's a platform. People can't compare your platform to a Breakfast Club. You ain't got Breakfast Club resources. I ain't got Breakfast Club resources.
Right.
iHeart is spending tens upon millions of dollars, actually more than that, on that particular platform. And that's just that platform. You can't compare something that's already established and has that amount of resources to something that's not. That's like comparing a Walmart to your local mom and pop store that deals in retail in what city you're in. There's no comparison. They're functioning at two different levels. But if you are a pencil maker and you get your pencils in that mom and pop store and people are seeing it and buying it, it still gives your pencil brand credibility because it's in the freaking retail store.
Yes.
It's the same concept with a podcast and platforms.
I don't know. Sometimes people don't think they're so quick to think petty. They don't think, and just like doing these interviews, there's a lot of people who will do promotion and
Mm-hmm.
then they'll leave it on their channel for a day or two and then they delete it.
Mm-hmm.
Mine stay there. They're
Mine
there.
too.
They're not going anywhere. Anybody can come along. We don't know who might see that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly. And
it's
that's
like,
what,
oh.
and that's why I tell people, like, when I approach businesses and stuff, I'm like, stop looking at this. Um, and I'm gonna answer your question too. Stop looking at stuff in the short term way. I have interviews on my page. First of all, I have over 30 some active interviews according to Facebook when I look at my analytics. And I look at them every single day, actually multiple times a day, my insights. I can monetize two different categories on Facebook. People can send stars, and I can go live and charge people to look at it. So I could debut premium content or content you can't get nowhere else, and you got to pay to look at it. I've also taught classes that way too. Um, so, shoot, I was making a point. But hold on, what was he talking about? Because I started thinking about his question.
I had said that, I leave them here, they don't go
Oh yeah,
nowhere.
they don't go anywhere. Okay, so when I look at my analytics, like I said, I got 25 to 30 active videos. Some of those videos are 2, 3 years old. So the fact that I keep it up there is always exposing it, because
Yes.
when people subscribe to your channel or to your page and follow it, whatever the case may be, they start going through older content because they're a new audience member.
Yeah.
So your content and whatever you're promoting is getting pushed to a new audience all the time. So when I talk to business owners, I got to like break that down to them. Like, look, you're actually paying cheap rates because you pay $100, $200, $500, whatever. I don't care if you pay $1,000. And you go on someone's, you're promoting on somebody's podcast. That $1,000 over the course of 2 years now breaks down to $500 a year. That $1,000 over 4 years is now $250. You ain't paying for no radio ad and stuff like that. That's $250 a year, or going on TV, even at a local station. You ain't gonna get nothing for no $250 and exposed to a good amount of people. So they gotta, they gotta look at it that way. Because you're right. I know a lot of content creators and people who promote and stuff like that who will take your post down after X amount of hours
Yeah.
or a day, or they'll put it in the story. You didn't pay like $300 something or whatever, and they got like a gajillion followers or whatever. So yeah, you gotta, yeah. I'm like, I could talk about that for forever. But just answer his question, because I see it. I'm always stretching myself thin between all the stuff that I'm doing. But I do this full time though, so I don't have like a 9 to 5. This is my 9 to 5. But I also put other stuff in place. So like in my counseling business, I have a staff of like 15. So they yep. You talk about, remember the 4 P's from a marketing class he took in college. I'm telling you, marketing. And now I'll go back to the other one real quick.
The question he asked.
Yeah, marketing. If you understand marketing, you can get a job or you can create income from anywhere. But yeah, so I put processes in place to be able to not stretch myself too thin, because I don't do everything. Like I have an assistant for Bank Radio Show / Bank Marketing, and I give her tasks to do. She books 90% of my interviews. She talks with all the different people. Like I said, she got a cell phone and all that stuff that people can hit up a number and they talk to Tori. With my counseling business, I have administrative staff that do various tasks. I actually had like 3 meetings today with folks and let them know the new responsibilities and stuff, because we got a new office manager that's being promoted next week. So I gave her all her stuff that she needs to do. So they handle all that. I don't have to be there. And that's what you do with any business. When you get it to a certain point, you hire other people to start doing tasks.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to grow that business.
Yeah.
And you have to do that and trust that you set up a process to where the business will be able to sustain. I don't even step foot in my counseling business probably like realistically maybe once a week or so. I know what's going on, but I don't have to physically be there. That allows me to do all this other stuff. And that's what you want back as an entrepreneur. You want your time back. Exactly. One hand washes the other. And that's what it does. And actually, I do that with my businesses too. One business pays the other. So the fact that I can shoot videos and stuff like that and edit it and all that, I might have to shoot a video for my counseling business, and then my counseling business pays my videography business. And then if I got to market some stuff, it pays the marketing business. And then, so on and so on or whatever. So yeah. See, do you have brands at stores, or are you marketing any retail? No, I'm not going to give them any of that money. I have my own like retail setup. I have a physical location for the cook shop, and there's a website. I make too much of a profit margin to be splitting that with any store right now. And plus, it's not the capacity where I'll even want to do that. Now, I have done that in the past with other mom and pop stores. I had a store that was in Stockbridge, Georgia, that sold cook shop products, but she bought it from us in bulk, which made the purchasing price higher. even though I gave her a discount on it, and she was responsible for making her money back on a retail side. But when COVID hit, you know what I'm saying, it changed that or whatever. But she just recently bought some more stuff, and we're in the negotiations of talking, because she's actually advocating for the products to be at another store that's in Atlanta, that one of her homegirls own or whatever. So we're gonna see if that becomes a thing. Because all she gonna do is just buy the product from me in bulk, and then turn around and sell it to the store, and then they sell it. So which is still money for the cook shop, because I don't take a salary from it. All the money goes back into it.
So let's get into the integrity and customer service skills.
Yeah. So I'm huge on integrity. Business ethics is not discussed a lot. Just because something is legal does not mean it's ethical, and just because something is ethical does not mean it's not illegal. Those lines are blurred a lot. A lot of people treat business like it's just business. No, business is a relationship. Business is you interacting with your customer base and knowing that you have open lines of communication, and that I don't believe in a philosophy that the customer is always right, but I'm also not going to discount the customer, because I know the customer pays the business to exist. It's a two-way relationship. So I satisfy customers all the time. Now, if they're a bad customer, meaning that they were a customer, but they really weren't supposed to be a customer,
Mm-hmm.
like they were trying to negotiate prices or always complaining about stuff. Nah, you can go on somewhere. I don't need your money. All
Right.
good. Our money is not good money. Um, but I do everything in my power to make sure that customers' needs are met. There's been some product that I had to reship to people in the cook shop because I have a salve, and the salve is, like I said, it's homemade or handmade, not homemade. I have an office location for it. Um, and when I was learning how to make it, because my wife taught me how to make it, she didn't tell me an important part, because when you make a salve from scratch, you're using oils and beeswax and stuff, and that's how I solidified. Well, when I poured the mixture into the jars and had all the ingredients in there, it was still hot. So I had sealed it. When it cooled, it concaved. So it did like this. It had a
Mm-hmm.
dip. And when I sent it out to the customer, I think they were in Cali, they hit me back like, "Hey man, look like somebody took their finger and dipped in this." I was like, "Oh, first of all, I don't do none of that. I have gloves and everything on when I be making products. The environment is sterile. But I'll ship you another one." I was like, "Just keep that one or whatever." I'm like, "It's fine." I figured out what it was and I explained it to them. In the making process, I didn't know that I was supposed to let it cool off first, then seal it. So I have to let it sit there and solidify. So I sent another one free of charge, no shipping or nothing on their end. Paid
Yeah.
myself out of the pockets from
Yeah.
the cook shop. So that
I've
was,
had to do that because I accidentally had some, I had orders. I had like three different orders. I
mm-hmm,
made a mistake and printed the same label twice. So this person got this other person's merchandise, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then
mm-hmm,
one of the things in her order, it was like I didn't have another pair of those. So I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't want to tell this lady I mistakenly sent her stuff to the wrong person." So
mm-hmm.
what I did was I had that person. I paid for the shipping. They shipped it to her, but then I shipped them free merchandise. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
inconvenience, exactly. Stuff like that goes a long way. I've shipped some orders because they were so large that I forgot a couple of items. I had to reship the items out to them, and I told them like, "Look, I apologize. I was rushing, or I had so much going on at the time. I didn't triple check like I was supposed to." And I was like, "Man, you fine," and stuff like that. So when you have an open line of communication with your customers, they will rock with you heavy. I believe in customer service now, but I also believe that you cannot be at the expense of everybody every single
Yeah.
time,
No,
because
you can't.
all these other businesses are not at your. It's not convenient for them to get in contact with them. So it's a delicate balance or whatever. Let's see here. If you could choose one of your ventures to go all in, which this is a fantastic question, and drop the rest, which ones would it be?
That is a good question.
I can't choose because I'm a creator at heart. Um, when I was bit by the entrepreneurial bug, and it was way when I was in school and stuff, like high school or middle school or something like that. I always used to do retailing and stuff like that and do great with sales. But then as I had my first business and then transitioned into another one, once I started doing that, I love the fact of creating businesses. Um, Only one business that I have do not have other partners in them, and I guess I could have. It's not all about me. The success of the business isn't just me. Now I drive and I help the success, but I'm a team player as well. I'm their team player, so I do have other business partners in the business. Besides the cook shop, I do run it by myself, even though my wife is equity holder in there in that one. And but she doesn't do any stuff anymore. She basically just gave me the business, but I also gave her our real estate business because she's developing property right now. So that's a whole nother story. In the marketing business, I run that by myself, and my wife didn't want any equity in that when I formed it. So, but everything else I have team members and stuff. So I don't really have to split my time and focus on anything. But I like that my life is fluid. I might wake up and make that radio show stuff or music stuff today. Tomorrow I might do video production, and it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I did not start all of these businesses at the same time. It was a gradual process of learning one thing, getting good at it, and then using that to propel another one. Um, I don't believe in like having all your eggs in one basket or whatever. So if I do something and people don't like me for one thing, I can always make money doing something else. Because some people do that. I'm like, you got haters out there and blah blah blah. Some people do try to tarnish your name and stuff like that, regardless of how you operate. I don't have a whole lot of that. I do have some people that don't like me running and talking about the name, but I do see the hate or whatever. Because other people come back and tell me, and I just see it or whatever is trying to copycat what I do, which is it's annoying or whatever. Um, but I get it because you build industries and you show that you're successful, and then other people follow that, and that's within the industry.
That's
Mhm.
kind of a good thing in a sort of way because it's like you're impressionable,
Mhm.
obviously. And then also too, though, you have to keep in mind, even if they copycat, you're still your own unique person. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what I've like learned as a business owner and stuff like that, and been doing this. I done it like I used to be so guarded with information and so guarded with not letting people know. And I understand how people are saying like on Facebook, "Oh, don't let that people know what you're doing and moving silent and all that." I don't care about that. I actually announce what I'm going to do. I still do it. Ain't nobody gonna spend the amount of money that I've been spending to do stuff to execute stuff. Like I've spent so much money on my businesses that ain't nobody from around here doing all this stuff.
Yeah. You
They
gotta have that. You gotta have the willpower. You gotta
Mhm.
have that, because like I tell people all the time, it may look like I just turn on a computer and pull out a mic and turn my
Mhm.
camera on and just start
Mhm.
talking, but it is way more to it than that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you do, and I can what I'm saying, I'm there with you because I know what it takes to build a platform. Just like I love the fact that what I'm saying, I was like when you sent me the message, like, because I hit you up like, hey, what a flyer is, so I could be promoting it and sharing it. It's like nobody ever want to share the flyer.
And
Like,
I appreciate that because you shared it on more than one platform. You tagged me,
mhm.
so I thank you for that support.
Well, that's what we're supposed to do, though. That's the
Yeah,
thing. Like to me, that is the bare minimum of what someone can do. So that's the standard. So people need to like start rising to the standard, and I think I've been able to like create some type of standard down here in the area I'm at because I see it. I see how people are starting to interact with each other. I see how people are like jumping into the various industries, and I'm like, oh, hold up, yeah, I got to
yeah,
function like this person over here. And then when they don't, hold people accountable. I mean, there's
mhm,
nothing wrong with calling people out and stuff like that and letting them know that you're holding them accountable. But don't just want to just benefit all the time. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a two-way street. If someone's going to interview me and allow me to talk to their viewers, I'm going to do my part into sharing it and allowing other people to know that this is another platform you can go and interact with, because
Yes.
big enough to where all of us can eat and survive and thrive.
Yes. Yes. I'm drunk. You know what? You're not. You're okay asking questions. I love questions, and I'm sure Andreas, he doesn't mind either.
No, I
That's
love
what
it.
makes, like, you guys may be in the comments, but you're still a part of the show. So we
Exactly.
thank you for your questions.
I
Um,
love it. So at the cook shop, I have all sorts of products. First of all, you can go to the Cooke, COOKE, SHOPPE, cookshop.com, and you can see. But yeah, so I have 4 different flavors of teas. There's only one of them on there right now. Actually, 5. I got to release the other ones. I'm in Macon, Georgia, which is an hour and a half south of Atlanta, but we ship all over United States. I can ship anywhere in the United States. Um, and you can read the reviews and stuff too. I'm not just going, what I'm saying, push the product and be like, hey, go buy my stuff or whatever. No, go look at the reviews and people love it. Like I said, they're all natural. I got salves, which are topical applications. I have teas, which with hibiscus, and people love it. It's great for inflammation, depression, pain relief. Because the hemp that I get, I source it from California and Oregon. We've had relationships with growers out there, and they grow it with no pesticides and herbicides. I have the oils, the CBD oils that people love. You can actually cook with it if you want to. I have hemp coffee, lip balms. What else I got over there? Dog supplements, and there's a few other products on there. On the
Now back to the hemp, because you do the oils, right?
yeah, I do the oils that you can ingest and put in your food and all that stuff.
So does hemp also, does it help with like pain, like maybe say like arthritis or
Yeah,
anything? Okay.
I've had people stop taking their pain medication because they get our products. And because I manufacture it, I know exactly what goes in it. I can also diversify the product by adding different combinations of different strands of hemp because I have multiple strands. Uh, yeah, I'm actually working on that too. Um, I can customize stuff, whatever, and I don't cut the product. A lot of these new manufacturers, or I,
Thank you.
I'll give you an example. Charlotte's Web was cool, but they cut the oil with isolates. So does all these other brand name ones. So you get mixed reviews all the time. One, because it's built off of isolate. When you ingest CBD, you're supposed to have the CBG, the CBN, the terpenes, the whole profile of the plant in one, and a small amount of THC, because all hemp has THC in it. But by federal weight, you can't have no more than 0.03, which is not even a whole percentage. It's a third of a percent. Um, so yeah, you need all those things working together to maximize the effect. And then when you couple that with different strands that are known for, like, different things, like ACDC strand is what is tea with biscuits. I have teas. I don't have biscuits with them, but you have to if you're looking at the website, just let me know what it is. Um, yes, I love oils all the time. I use all my products. I've used it on my kids too. Fantastic. But yeah, a lot of manufacturers are cutting product. I don't cut the product just to make extra money, and the prices of what you get at our website versus what you would find on others is way lower. I don't have to sell staff for like 45, 50, $100 for a small little bottle. No. I'm like, my biggest stab is 4 ounces, and I think it's only $22 plus tax and shipping.
Okay.
You can go get another 4 ounce anywhere else, and they're charging like $80. I don't have to do that. I can still price it fair and still make a profit. Because one, I'm not, like I said, I'm not, I don't pay myself from that particular company. I just do all the work. And when it gets bigger, I'll start, paying myself whatever. Or I just make, what I'm saying, just pay myself once a year because, I get to claim when you file taxes with LLCs and stuff like that, you get to claim the profits and stuff. So I'll just take it that way and be able to keep the prices at a reasonable, affordable rate because that's why we started it anyway.
Now, what are your? Because I heard you say you teach some marketing and stuff like that. What are
Mhm.
your rates?
Well, okay, so it depends on what it is. So yes, I have taught classes. One I teach, I taught this class back in was it February? Can I get your web? Yeah, well, I guess if you're still referring to the Cooke shop, is the Cooke COOKESHOPPE.com. Or you can type it in, it should pull up. I'm like, it gets good Google hits and stuff like that. The Cooke
Is it
shop.
all caps or small?
Oh, lowercase is fine. It
The
will pull up
cook.
by the way. Yeah, the Cooke. Cooke with the E, and then
Mm-hmm.
shop two P's and the E. I wanted
.com.
.com, and you'll be able to find everything there. Um, but yeah, so I taught this course, how to build your business to 100,000, because that seems to be the magic number that everybody wants. So I taught that back in February. Um, and I think I only charged like 50 or 60 bucks for that class. And it was like a whole hour long, ask whatever questions at the end, and actually throughout the presentation of it. That seems to be like the magic number everybody wants to get to. And I'm like, you can get to it. It's not hard. First thing about entrepreneurship and building your business, and I know we've been like, going back and forth with like, the do's or the pros and cons or whatever throughout the thing. So if you have a specific, if you want me to like break it down or whatever, then I can do that too.
So
Like,
my thing is marketing my,
mhm,
like I just started. I just trademarked my own brand, Clatch It.
mhm,
That's my clothing brand.
mhm,
And so I want to know, like, what is it, when I'm ready to really, really put it out there. Like, I've
mhm,
tried some things, like I had a couple of purses made and
mhm,
I had a couple people, they liked it.
mhm,
Um, I kind of just changed the coloring in the logo because one person said, just take that out. And if
mhm,
you do this, it's going to pop. So
mhm,
I did that and she was correct. She's actually my brand ambassador.
mhm.
But I just want to know, like, how to put it out there, how to market it. Like,
But if you're going to stick strictly online, you're going to need a huge budget for online to cut through all the clutter, right? And
okay.
I mean, like, what I'm saying, really spend like, okay, so conversions rate, right? Do you know what website conversion rates are?
No.
Okay, so website conversion rates are no more than about between 1 up to 5%, 5 being like absolutely phenomenal of your traffic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to get 100 customers that are prospects, meaning that those fit within the categories that you're going after, the demographics, then you would have to appeal to what's that, 10,000 to get 1%, right?
Okay.
It's just simple math. So you got to make sure your marketing budget is big enough to hit up 10,000 people with the frequency of interacting with them at least 7 to 8 times before they really start to get the message that, okay, I keep seeing this, let me interact with it. Then go to the website. And the website got to be like popping now, like as far as user friendly and simple, clean looks, all that stuff, um, to where they want to interact with it. Then they'll interact with it, put it in their shopping cart, and then whoever the percentage of those people will buy it. But your prices also got to match like that budget too. So you can't lowball yourself. You can't have like, okay, so a purse. How big is a purse? Is what about?
The ones that I started off with, they were just like little small handbags.
Okay,
Now
so
that's
that's
just my brand. Now I sell other brands
mhm.
and they range from large, medium, small.
Okay. So that small bag that you're talking about, what is the retail based off the material and everything, right? What is the retail value of that in every other like store that would be like a competitor?
Whew. Uh, about $100, but I didn't price it at that
Why didn't you?
because it's new on the block and I was trying to get it out there,
Yeah.
see
Okay.
the
So
interest.
how low did you lowball yourself?
So I'm selling the purse for $37
Oh, ma'am, no,
at
no,
this moment.
no. You need to do 70 at least. You're not going to have any money from marketing. selling it at $30. You have to appeal to 10,000 people to get 1% if you want to get 100, right? I think I'm doing the numbers on that right. Because, yeah, 1,000, 100 would be 10%. So, yeah, you have to appeal to 10,000 people, man. You cannot make any money selling a $30 purse and think you're going to have any profit out of that. You need to at least go up to 70. And then on top of that, you got to think about if consumers, like if you saw a $30 purse, would you buy it? That looks like
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Well, you
Hey,
would think that
listen, I'm a bargainer, so yeah.
okay, so you just said that. You said you thought you got a bargain, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You thought you got a bargaining or whatever, but you want your premium client base that you're appealing to. And if it's good quality and stuff like that, then that tells me you're appealing to a higher income earning individuals, correct?
Yeah.
You don't want first of all, high income earning people don't want bargain price purses.
True.
They won't, that's a status symbol. It's like you going out and getting a Mercedes or whatever. You can go out and get a Mercedes for like, 15,000 or something like that. You're going to think there's something wrong with it. When you see the price, right?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, if that's the thing that you're going after, you got to up your price. And it can't be, I wouldn't sell it no lower than 70.
Okay. Thank you. So just to tell you a little bit, if how I came up with the name Clash It.
Mm-hmm.
So Clash It is 2 words put together.
Classy,
so it's classy. Yeah.
I'm a marketer, man.
So yes, it's like I can dress classy and throw a little spice of ratchet on it, but it's still presentable and ladylike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what I want my ladies to understand is you can still have that sexy look and still be classy. You're
the
not
way that you're positioning that, you're appealing to my wife. My wife is what she call it? Something like ghetto bougie or something, but it's not it's something
I've heard of that before.
Bourgeois or something.
Bougetto.
That's what she said. She is bougetto. And she buys premium products. Well, she gets the income for it. But that's where she is in her life. And yeah, ma'am, selling that $30 purse, you're going to attract the people who make $25,000, $30,000 a year, and you don't want those problems.
So that's my best friend right there, and she's always like, "You better sell it for this much. You better get your money, girl. Don't be worrying about them people."
No, you don't. Like I have people who've told me that to sit down with me and to do a consultation because I charge people for consultations. Oh, you're too expensive. I'm like, you're not my customer either. So goodbye. And it's okay. I'm like, be okay with knowing your value. I know my value. People have to realize I just assessed a part of your business in like 30 seconds, right? That took me years of trial and error and knowledge, which was thousands of dollars. So for me to discount that, I'm not going to do that because I just gave you information that will change the scope of your business and change your life.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Drunk. Also, thank you. I appreciate. I'm always open to, constructive criticism because, it'll help me perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that's what we're supposed to do as a culture and stuff like that. Like I'm not supposed to if I didn't impart something onto you or whatever, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to help people. Yes, I didn't get a whole lot of help going through the trials and tribulations I went through as becoming a business owner, but it does not mean I'm not supposed to pass the baton in some form or fashion. So I like to sit there and just hoard the information and not be able to change people's lives or whatever is silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like you said, you can go straight to 100 too and compete. Or you can go over and really, I'm like, because value is what you bring to it and what you get other people to recognize. And that's what they do with, like Balenciaga put out some ugly stuff.
Yeah.
It's
I don't like the shoes.
They literally sold a trash bag for $1,700.
I would say do it, drunk. I would say do it.
I'm an advocate for doing it. Have you legit fear? Throw that out the window, because I was having this
Yeah.
conversation with somebody yesterday. I was doing jury duty yesterday, and I spoke to an entrepreneur who's not full time yet, and she was very reserved because she got her steady income money. But I'm like, they're paying you. If you have entrepreneurial spirit in you and you feel that that's what you're supposed to be doing, go out and do it, because they're paying you to throw away your dreams every day.
Yeah.
When I first started, I left a $70,000 paying job with great benefits and stuff like that. Next year, I made $17,000 as a full-time entrepreneur. But I built that income up. I don't even work. I work like, I don't even call it work, but 10,
And
12
and,
hours.
it, and the thing is, it makes you feel so good to be your own owner and boss.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, go through the things that you do working for somebody else. You're seeing
No.
your own profit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And when it's time for me to take my kids somewhere, I drop my kids off at school. I pick them up from school. Everything happens in between that. If it doesn't, it happens on another day, or like even like me coming tonight or whatever, because I'm an hour ahead of you. My wife's at home with the kids, or whatever. I made sure that, what I'm saying, she didn't have nothing to do or whatever, so she could watch the kids. If need be, sometimes I'll just bring the kids here and they can just go run around on this space, whatever I'm in, or whatever is housed inside of a building. It has lots of room to run and play or whatever. So yeah, my kids are a priority in my life, and watching their accomplishments and stuff like that. I'm like, I got all my kids go to private school.
Okay.
And I have 8 kids. 7 of them are in private school. One of them's already graduated. So yes, our lives are expensive, but that's what we wanted, and we're able to be there. Whenever my kids do activities, I'm there, and people understand that. So I'm like, it is what it is. Um, Replace your income, and if you want to get past that point and start putting other people on payroll to grow your business and stuff like that, do it and go for it. Because what you don't want to live is a life of regret. You don't want to get into your late years and be like, I wish I would have done this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
So
have any regret.
when you put people on payroll, was your business already established first? Like where you had that money to be able to pay people, or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Our first business where I was put myself, my wife, and my mother-in-law on payroll was our counseling business, but it took 3 years to get to that point. If you have a business and you're really focused on your business like you're supposed to, in 3 years, if you can't pay yourself something out of payroll, you're doing something wrong. By year 5, you should be able to put yourself on payroll full time. By
Okay.
year 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, you're actually growing the business. You should be
Okay.
able to add people to your business and grow it as big as you want to. I'm like, our counseling business did around 700 something $1,000 a year last year. This year, if we get all the different contracts, we're on pace to like do over 1 million. In year 2024, if everything goes, I'm like, we could be a multi-million-dollar business annually. And then, of course, all my other businesses benefit from that or whatever. My counseling, I mean, my marketing business, first year did 36 something $1,000 a year. Year 2, I'll probably do like 60 something this year. Next year, it'll probably increase again to about the 75, or probably hit 100,000.
Okay. And then I just have one more question before we get out of here, if you want to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to you earlier about the TV show that
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on. What would be your advice to me on that?
Do you get to control that platform? Like
Yes. I'm
um,
actually the hub manager for this state of Minnesota. So yeah, I get to run my channel and do whatever I want and bring whoever I want and all any of that.
is it exclusively centered around you, or does other like programming is on it that you don't have anything to
It'll
do with?
be advertisement.
But I'm just okay. So like I'm trying to figure out, is it a situation like a Roku situation where you have your own channel on a platform?
Yes.
Or okay, so what's the question as far as like how you want to go about
As
monetizing
far
it?
as no, we monetize right away on this particular TV app. But no, like as far as like constructing the show, putting it out there, you know.
Oh, you're talking about what you're doing right now?
Yeah. Well, but this is for the TV show though.
Yeah. So if you don't want to compete with yourself, because you can still make money doing what you're doing now too. So I do want to let you know that that is available, especially using StreamYard. So if you don't want to compete against yourself, I would say do structure exclusive content, or actually do like a show format, meaning like, you know, you're doing TV. You have different segments that you're doing. They go to commercial break, and people have already programmed that way, so they know what they're going to ingest. And you know, make sure you like, you know, film all your stuff first, then put it on there, then roll it out.
Okay.
But I will also, like, if you're going to do shows and stuff, if you're not going to do something that stays consistent every week, I would split it up into seasons.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Seasons.
Well, however many you want to do in a season, and roll them out weekly. But then the programming side right there on what you're doing, you don't even have traditional programming schedule confinements, because it's an app. So someone can go from one program thing to another program thing and absorb the information like it's Netflix. So you pretty much have unlimited programming, which opens up a whole lot of windows for you, because you have a network that is basically unlimited programming. You just got to have the space to be able to host all that content on there. And if they got adequate space, you're good. You could do it to where you could start producing other people's shows and stuff once you get it going. You can charge people to produce their shows. You can charge people advertising to advertise commercials in shows. You can charge for the actual commercial design and development and distribution of it. I'm like, so yeah, you're like me with this stuff I'm doing. You have an opportunity here to do whatever you want to. Now you got to do is just keep building it. And then you can branch off. You can have stuff that supplements it. So if people are not watching it on that particular format, they can catch like behind the scenes on a YouTube channel, or you can get into digital magazines that like highlight that and writes articles about the content. There's a whole lot of different stuff you can do.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. It's a lot.
Thank you. And I would like to thank everybody who tuned in and asked questions. So one last question. Belinda wants to know, do you have any children that's in the business with you?
Not yet. My high schoolers, they're going to go to college whenever. I got two 11th graders, juniors this year. Then I also have a freshman. I think she'll be the one to actually do, because I tell my kids when they were very young, and I've said this throughout their childhood growing up, when you graduate high school, you have one or two options. You can either go to college, or you can start a business. You got to pick one. So yeah, now they are learning because they come and they see me. I've had kids where I do. I appreciate that. Thank you. This is a wonderful comment. Thank you. Appreciate it, Drunk.
Thank you, Drunk.
They've been to me where I've vended at events and sold product. They've seen the growth of it, so it's in them if they want it as an option. I don't force it on them, but I want them to have options, because I do want them to experience working in the traditional sense and getting that experience and understanding what they have here in house. Because between my wife and I, because she's self-employed as well, they have a plethora of stuff that they can do. So whatever piques their interest, and if not, I'll find some young apprentices and start training them and grooming them or whatever, and let them do stuff, whatever. And then see if the kids want to take on the ownership of the company or whatever, and then sign it over to them or whatever. But yeah, I'm like, they have options. So they can either, like I said, go to school and continue their education and go down a traditional path if they want to do that. And my son says he wants to be like a engineer. So cool. He likes doing stuff like that or whatever. But he's already said that he'll want to go out, get experience, and then turn around, open up his business, which is fine because I'm gonna have seed money for him. And if he can even fail in the business, that's fine too. But just start another one until he gets it right. Because that's what what I'm saying we're supposed to do. We don't get it right the first time. I don't believe in like kicking kids out of the house or whatever just because they feel like a bill. Because kids don't ask to be here. Um, and then on top of that, we're not really breaking any generational curses if we don't allow them to grow into what they want to become and provide them resources along the way. We see
Yeah.
this with other communities all the time. Hispanics do it, Asians do it, white folks do it, Jews do it. We should be doing stuff like this to where our kids get the opportunity to find themselves in this world and we support them along the way. And like I said, if my kids start a business when they turn 18 and 6 months later they're out of business, I'm okay with it. We're gonna start another one. If you want to continue this path, let's keep going until you hit what you're good at. Then, you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to see what it takes to get to whatever level and you can do whatever you want to.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I
You
appreciate
guys all have a good night. I hope to have you back again soon.
Oh yeah. Whenever you want, just let me
Appreciate
know.
the advice.
You're welcome.
You have a good night.
All
Thank
right, talk
you.
soon.